Debt is one of those strange things you come across in the world where most people would try to avoid it if they could, but it's very difficult to actually avoid. You get the cases where when you're first starting out, a lot of people don't realise, but you don't actually get born with a good credit record. A lot of people assume that that's the case. I haven't defaulted on any of my loans, so I must have a good debt record. The reality is that you just don't have a credit record until you've used some of your debt. And I think that's one of the pieces of advice that my father gave me that was probably the best. In order to be able to use debt when you need it, you have to have used debt. So when I first went out there and tried to get a car loan, I was able to, because when I was, I think, 17 or 18, I'd gotten a credit card with my bank, which was a pretty decent deal. I was able to use the credit card, and so long as I paid off the balance in full every 60 days, there was no interest charged on it. And that, of course, meant that I was able to buy just about everything on the credit card, use whatever wages I was coming through with to pay off the credit card in full. And when I went to try and get my first car loan, I was able to get it just straight off. When I wanted to get a personal loan to get furniture for the new house that I'd finished building, I was able to do that. I was able to get the loan to actually build the house. Now, a lot of people don't seem to realise that you have to have that inside there, and if I'd followed the advice of my mother, that certainly would be the case that I was going for, where I just didn't use any sort of credit until I needed it. And when I wanted to do that sort of thing, I would have gone through with, like when I was getting the credit card to begin with. I wanted to be able to get a laptop, which at the time was around about $2,000, so that I was able to do work from home and earn a better wage. Now, when I first applied for that, I was only able to get approval for $1,000 on the laptop. And that had been despite the fact that I'd been working for about 3 years at the stage and hadn't really gotten any debt to speak of. So it's one of those things where you're just damned if you do, damned if you don't. Probably comes down a bit easier if you think about it in the lines of a business or a government, where you are getting that sort of thing as a direct investment. A lot of people think of personal debt, and they think of putting concert tickets on their credit card or getting a personal loan so they can go on a holiday and that sort of thing. Ultimately, it's the same sort of thing. You're investing in your mental health, or you're investing in whatever else it is. It's just a bit more clear-cut when you're talking about a business. Well, that's about it, guys. Do you agree with what I've said? Leave me a thumbs up. If you disagree, maybe leave me a thumbs down. If you have some complaints with part of it, or just want to discuss that, leave me a couple of comments down below. Be sure to check out a couple of the other videos and like and subscribe. Cheers.